What's the weirdest thing your partner did that got you going? We were in the middle of the act, and I couldn't focus because I heard the kids arguing downstairs. So she cupped her hands around my ears so tight that I couldn't hear a thing and gave me intense eye contact. I focused right away. I was dating a girl in high school. We were hanging out at her house one afternoon, her family was there, and we were all just hanging out. She got up to go to the kitchen, and as she walked behind me, she lightly ran her fingernails across the back of my neck. To this day, when a girl does that to me, it gets me every time. I worked with a man who would have his hair cut into a weird point on the back, and I used to take my finger and quickly run it up the point, and he'd get chills. I thought it was just funny, like I was tickling the back of his neck, but now I wonder if maybe I was turning him on. Ugh. We had our honeymoon in Italy, and he noticed the waitstaff poured wine really beautifully, so he replicated it. Now I have him pour all my drinks for me, and for some reason the way his wrist moves when he pours really gets me going. I was with my friend at a family gathering her parents were holding, and about 10 minutes into our conversation, I heard her sister giggle, and it had me swooning for her so hard. Didn't act on it, obviously, but I was shook at how much something like a laugh could turn me on. Totally non-erotic everyday occurrence had me questioning everything I knew about what made someone attractive. I dated a girl once who was a bit hyper, and she had quite poor knowledge of boundaries. Not that it bothered me too much. One time we ran up this hill together, and she just out of the blue grabbed my hand and made me feel her heartbeat. I've never felt more in love than that moment. She ghosted me 3 days before my birthday. Before we were a couple, my wife was showing me photos of a trip in Australia. There was one where she was wearing a bright blue stinger suit, a full-body wetsuit that protects against poisonous jellyfish. She was the sexiest ocean smurf I've ever seen. She initiated at the most random time of day. She was studying for her CPA exam at the time and drove to the library from a night shift. She would usually come home around noon and go straight to sleep. I was at home studying for an exam, and she sent me a text around 9 a.m. that she was coming home and wanted to smash. I almost failed that exam. A frisky text while you're neck deep in coursework clears the thickest of brain fogs. 2 things. When he's working on something mechanical and he starts getting serious, he'll flip his cap backward. It's an absent-minded thing, but is it sexy. And when he's working overhead, the way his arms flex, watching him lift things into our attic is an instant turn on. It's weird, but damn does it do it for me. Also, when I wear something sexy or low cut and he's not expecting it, he'll stutter if he's mid-sentence. We'll be talking from another room, for instance, and I'll toss on a revealing shirt and walk into where he is, and he'll lose his train of thought, or shake his head like he needs to clear it. Your man making you feel sexy is the ultimate sexy move. He'll flip his cap backwards. You didn't happen to watch Pokemon when growing up, did you? Because that would explain a lot. A hinge hookup started sucking and tonguing my ear while on top of me, and it was the most intense and bizarre feeling that was equal parts, stop, and, keep going. I still think about it to this day.
Is this that ASMR thing that I hear kids are smoking nowadays?
I've never golfed a day in my life, and I just have no interest in it. My wife, though, is a somewhat avid golfer, and was more into it during high school and college, and was pretty good. We were at Topgolf for a friend's birthday party this year, and watching her expertly drive balls in a well-fitted outfit just did it for me. I am not into feet. I don't seek out feet pics or foot play or any of that. I am not into feet. One day, I walked up to the bed, and my girlfriend started rubbing the boy down below with her foot. Eventually, she worked me out of my boxers and kept rubbing with her foot until she got bored, sat up, and went down south. I stress that she was the one that got bored. I could have let her do what she was doing all night. To this day, I swear up and down that I am not into feet. To this day, I wish that she'd do that just one more time. I am not into feet. However, it felt amazing. Yeah, buddy's into feet. He fixed the shower in my truly horrible low-rent grad school apartment and changed the oil on my car. I'm not sure why, but that just did things to me. If you were to ask my husband, self-deprecating humor would probably be his answer. On our first date, he and I went to see this stage production of Jekyll and Hyde. At the bar, they were selling these cute little shots of Baileys and Kahlua, with each liquor on separate sides of the glass. Me, being incredibly graceful in all things always, completely dumped the Baileys half onto my blouse. His eyes got all big, not sure how to react, and I just sighed, turned to him, and reintroduced myself like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so." This kind of thing happens a lot. He busted up laughing. I ordered a scotch, and we've been together for the past 11 years. On the first date, he put my seatbelt on. It surprised me because I heard of men opening doors for their dates, but not putting their seatbelt on. It just showed a very caring yet very masculine side of him. The tension, knowing we wanted each other but agreed to take it slow, just made me go feral in my head. A year and a half later, he still does it to this day. He even gets slightly upset when I don't let him. I still blush when he does it, especially when other people are in the car with us. Bite me on the shoulder, somewhere where the delt and tricep meet. She just did it randomly when we were waiting in line for the movies. It surprised me that it resulted in a somewhat awkward Johnson trumpet that fast. My wife doing the dishes on a hot summer's evening. She had splashed some water on her nightdress, so she just took it off. Seeing a woman doing house chores while completely naked awoke something primal and masculine inside of me. It was a fun night. My wife's answer was that once, early in our relationship, when she was taking a bath, I knocked on the door, came in with a book, and sat down next to the tub to read. I love this. I love having a friend when I'm showering or bathing. It's not even sexual, but it often turns that way. My ex had these super cute moles on her chest that would pop into view whenever she bent over if she wore a low-cut shirt. The first time we did it, and every time after that, I could just not stop staring at those sexy moles. It got to the point where she got really self-conscious about it, and I had to make a genuine effort to not acknowledge how attracted I was to them. But the more self-conscious she was about them, the more attracted I was to her. Haven't been with anyone else with such perfectly placed moles, but I'd love a chance to do so again. I just wish people weren't so self-conscious about their skin blemishes. I actually really enjoy them. They're unique. I had an ex-girlfriend that was gorgeous. Not the type of girl you would imagine showing interest in nerdy things. And I'm a nerd. I have an action figure collection. When she showed interest in my collection and would actually follow the new releases and show the ones to me that she thought I liked, damn, that would turn me on so much. Samesies, dog. All year long, I look forward to a local toy expo because I collect action figures. The week before the expo, my girl was like, "We're going, and we're all in on this." I'm skeptical because it's pure nerd and definitely not her thing. But the day of the expo, she got up early, woke me up, and off we went. She even bought me a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle keychain. Dude, instant stiffy. My boy below the belt was standing at such attention, it honestly hurt a little bit. I can't think of anything weird my husband did, but the first night of our honeymoon, we were talking about the wedding and our future, and I started crying because I was so happy. And I told him as much. He was smiling and gave me a kiss and then whispered, "I don't know why, but you crying just now turned me on so much." His comment sure didn't turn me on, but it did make me laugh, and I thought it was kind of cute in a weird sort of way. She was on top and maneuvered her lower legs under each of my calves, then turned her ankles so they were over mine, basically pinning my legs down. I reached up to massage her chest, and she grabbed my wrists and pinned them over my head. God, I loved it, as she'd always been more submissive and timid prior to that. It still gets me going whenever I think about it. Wasn't my GF, but over a Skype call maybe a decade ago when I was a teenager, I was on a call with a female friend of mine that I had a crush on. I casually mentioned that I had a thing for girls in glasses, and she gasped, told me to wait there, scurried downstairs, and about 20 seconds later, rushed back up, jumped onto her bed with her jaw resting on her fists, and lo and behold, she was now wearing glasses. We laughed. I didn't know what to say, but that was the cutest way that she could have let me know she liked me. When my partner started wearing these blue light glasses that he randomly picked up from CVS one day, they have this thick top rim that, I don't know, just does something for me. So I made him wear them to a Halloween party, and let me tell you, everyone noticed. They just really did something for the shape of his face. I have an ex that used to like to pop my fingers, like crack my knuckles for me. It was weirdly intimate, and had this slight tinge of danger that she could hurt my fingers really easily, even just accidentally. It wasn't like a hard turn on for me, but it was one of those things that I really just liked, you know? My man toured full-time with a band that played theater and arena shows. He was the guitarist. Something about seeing him play in front of thousands of people, knowing I'm the only one who gets those fingers all over me. They would go into the audience for a few of the songs, and one time he found me and kissed me mid-song. I love that man. Not all that weird of one, but I hired an amazing babysitter after I kicked my ex out. Seeing how this woman cared for my 1- and 3-year-old boys at the time, and how much they adored her, just flipped a switch in me, and it was the biggest turn-on I'd ever felt. We got together 4 months later, and next month it'll be 3 years. I have sole custody now, and I'm on top of the world. This woman is amazing with our boys. Now we move on to the rapid fire segment for stories too good to leave out, but too short to make into a full entry. Let's jump in. Sitting in the car while my gas pumped, and she started to wash my windshield unprompted. I dated a girl that would practically stick her tongue in my ear canal. I did not find it hot. This man will make the corniest joke in the whole world, and then his whole face lights up as he giggles at it. Gets me every time. Driving. I don't know why, don't ask, but watching my partner drive makes me want to rip his clothes off. She picked me up, threw me on her bed, then handcuffed me to the frame. He did the dishes when I had finals. Got a job with health benefits for both of us. She bit me and started scratching my back with her nails. Not enough to mark me, but enough to awaken something. He once took my hands and steered for me while we were playing Mario Kart. Now that really did something for me. My boyfriend rolled up his sleeves kinda slowly the other day, and I felt like I couldn't hear anything for a solid minute. Rubbing my nipples. I'm a boy. It feels good. I don't care, judge me for it. Won't judge at all. In gay couples, nipple play is very much appreciated. Source? I'm gay. When he pulls into a parking spot, he puts his right hand on the back of my seat when he looks behind him. Tingles every time. So that's it for today, guys. I know it was a little bit of a shorter one. This thread wasn't super long, but I hope you still enjoyed the video. I'm ReddList. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.